Hey, love, I want to start today inside your own head on an average Tuesday afternoon. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hi, this is my screened in porch, New Hampshire. Happy summer. Okay. So the voice in your head on a Tuesday afternoon, because there is a voice in it, and you know the one. It says, God, like, why did you say that? Or it's replaying a conversation from hours ago. It might say, you are so far behind. Everyone else has figured this out. Or it says, oh, like, who do you even think you are? The second you think of wanting something bigger. So that voice has been narrating your life like a critic in the back row of a theater for as long as you can remember. And here's the thing that you have never once questioned, because it sounds exactly like you. You think that voice is telling you the truth, right? You think it's just you being honest with yourself, like holding yourself accountable, being mature and self-aware. So today I want to show you that a huge amount of what that voice says was never yours to begin with. Somebody put it there. It was installed. And I want to hand you a very simple 3-question tool to tell the difference between that voice that got planted in you and the voice that is actually you. I call it the whose voice is it test. It's simple. And the very first thing we have to do before we do anything else is uninstall this voice. So let's get into it. Welcome to the Feminine Rebellion. I am Maddie Frasca, and this is the show where we take everything you were taught about being a good woman and we hold it up to the light to see who it was really fucking built for. And spoiler alert, it was not built for us. I'm here to help you reclaim your pleasure, reclaim your power, reclaim your desire, reclaim your turn on, reclaim your one outrageous, unrepeatable source of aliveness on your own terms. So let's fucking go. Now, before we go any deeper, I want to hand you the map, because everything we do in this show, whether you've noticed or not, every single episode moves through 3 stages. And once you see them, you will not be able to unsee them in this show or in your own life. The first stage is the unbinding. And this is where we loosen the grip on everything you were trained to be. The rules, the shoulds, the good girl programming that you never actually agreed to. See, we cannot reclaim a single thing until we first unbind from the story that was handed to us before we could even talk. The second stage is the reclamation. This is where we go back and we take what was actually ours, right? Your pleasure, your power, your desire, your eroticism, your self-worth, your autonomy, your authority over your own life, your sovereignty. Every single thing you were quietly taught to hand over to everyone else. And the third stage is the rise. And that is you standing all the way up as the woman you actually came here to be, not the shrunk down, palatable, people pleasing, easier to love version, the whole one. So it's the unbinding, the reclamation, the rise. That is the entire journey that we are on together in all of my worlds, whether you're a private client, whether you're in our coaching community, whether you're in Rebels Rising, because the first thing we have to do is the unbinding. That's what we're going to do today. We are going to unbind from the voice inside your head. And if we skip this one, nothing else works, because that voice will talk you out of every reclamation before you even reach for it. So we start right here. So let's talk about the voice. Here's a lie, and it's a sneaky one because it doesn't even feel like a lie. It might feel like humility, right? The lie that is your inner critic is you. That the harsh running commentary in your head is your own honest judgment, and that listening to it makes you responsible, makes you humble, makes you self-aware. We even brag about it. We call it having high standards. We say, oh, I'm just really hard on myself. Like it's a personality trait that we should be proud of. But I want you to really, 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 really take this in. That voice is not your intelligence, and it's not your intuition, and it's not your wisdom. It is conditioning, wearing your voice like a costume, so you will never question it. And of course, there are two layers underneath this, like there always are on the show. The first is your conditioning, and the second is your body. Layer one, the critic didn't come from nowhere. It didn't originate with you. It got installed early by a whole culture that runs a lot more smoothly when women doubt themselves. Like, really think about that. A woman who is sure of herself, who trusts her own judgment, who actually loves herself is really hard to sell to. She's hard to shrink. She's hard to control. But a woman who is convinced she's not enough, she's not pretty enough, she's not thin enough, she's not smart enough, she's not doing enough, that woman will buy whatever you put in front of her and apologize while she does it. So your self-doubt is profitable to our culture, my love. It did not grow there by accident. It was planted and watered, just like the plants in my garden, for years. And here's how you can tell that it is not yours. If you stop and actually listen to that voice, if you really, really listen to the tone of it, it usually sounds like someone, like a parent, a teacher, an ex that told you you were too much, a whole lifetime of magazines and media and comparisons and comments at the Thanksgiving dinner table. It's a composite of every authority who ever graded you. It has never once, please, been the voice of God. Okay. It is the voice of conditioning. And frankly, we have been treating it like it's gospel. Layer two is your body. And this is the part that keeps you trapped in it. So the critic that you hear doesn't just think at you, it lands in your body. When the voice says, who do you think you are? Your stomach drops, your face flushes, your chest goes tight. And all of that happens in a split second before your thinking brain has even caught up. And here's the trap in that. Your body reacts so fast and so physically that thoughts start to feel true. They start to feel true. We're wired to believe the thing that makes our body flinch. Believe it, because for most of human history, the thing that made your body flinch could actually kill you, like a saber-toothed tiger. So shame lands in your gut, and your gut says, well, this has to be real. Look at how much it hurt. And that is exactly why you can know intellectually that you're being way too hard on yourself and still feel completely gutted by it. The feeling outruns the logic every single time. So it's not, you can't willpower your way through this. It's the body doing exactly what it was trained to do. So let me show you what this voice actually costs you, because it's not just an uncomfortable feeling. It runs your entire life from backstage and, never once shows you its face. So let's see. Yeah, picture a woman who's genuinely brilliant at her work. She's up for a promotion. She's beyond qualified for it. And the voice says in that calm and reasonable tone, they're going to find out that you don't really know what you're doing. So she doesn't put herself forward. The voice just made a huge career decision for her. And the cruelest part is she thinks she made it, thinks it was her own good judgment. Or picture a woman who finally makes a thing, right? Or she writes the essay, she writes a book, she records a song, she sketches out a business plan that she's been dreaming about for 10 years. But before she even finishes it, the voice says, who are you to think anyone wants this? So the whole thing goes in a drawer. See, that voice has a body count, love. Your life is quietly, like full of things you didn't do because a voice that was never yours told you just not to bother. And I want to be honest with you because I know this one from the inside. For years, I had a voice that told me very reasonably, that I wasn't allowed to want more than I already had. I had it all, right? A nice house, healthy kids, a 14-year marriage. And so that wanting more, my voice said, made me greedy and ungrateful. And who the fuck did I think I was? And because it sounded kind of calm and certain, like so much of my good sense, I believed it was wisdom, right? I should just be grateful. But it wasn't wisdom. It was a cage with a very soothing voice. And the first day I dared to ask whether that voice was even mine, that is the day that, and I remember that day, that my whole door cracked open. And here's the spiral it runs. And it's the same one in every single woman I've ever coached. The voice says, you're not enough. That lands in your body as shame. And from that shame, you shrink. You don't apply. You don't post the thing about your new business. You don't ask for anything. You don't walk into the room. And then because you shrank, nothing changes. And the voice goes, see, I told you. And you believe it even more the next time. It's a closed loop and it's been running since you were a little girl and you never once got to vote on it. So let's start the unbinding. Here's the tool, and I call it the whose voice is it test. The next time that cruel voice pipes up, I don't want you to argue with it. And I don't want you to fucking positive affirmation your way through it. Please, please, please. Just run through these 3 quick questions. Question 1. Would I say this to my best friend? Would I say this to my ride or die? If your best friend told you she was up for that promotion, would you look at her and say, don't bother. They're definitely going to find out that you're a fraud. No, she would never. You would never, ever, ever do that to your bestie. So if you wouldn't say it to a woman that you love, then it's not the truth. It's cruelty. And cruelty is not information. It's not information you want to listen to. Question 2, and I love this one. Whose voice does this actually sound like? Like, really get quiet and listen to the tone of it. Is it yours? Is it your mother? Is it your father? Is it your teacher? Is it an ex? Is it that fucking girl from 7th grade? Is it the whole entire internet? 9 times out of 10, when you really, really, really listen, you realize you have been taking orders from someone in your past, from essentially a ghost. Question 3, and this is the big one. This is the best question. Who benefits when I believe this? If you believe you're not enough, who profits? Who gets a smaller, more compliant, more purchasable version of you? Because it is never you who benefits, my love. It is the system that needs you doubting yourself in order to keep running. It's patriarchal world culture. So you run those 3. Would I say it to a best friend? Whose voice is it? And who benefits? And if it fails all 3, and it almost always fails all 3, you say out loud, and out loud is really important if you can. This isn't mine. This isn't mine. You set it down. You don't have to win the fight with it. You just have to stop believing it's yours. Now, someone's already thinking, Natty, but what if the criticism is actually right? What if I did fuck up, right? Good. Let's talk about it, because accountability and cruelty are not the same thing. Your real wisdom can absolutely, absolutely say, hey, that didn't go the way I wanted. Let's do it differently next time. And that is certainly useful. That is growth. But it says it in a way that a really good coach would, with respect and clearly on your side. Cruelty doesn't want to help you get better. It wants you to feel like garbage and stop trying. So the test is not, is there any truth in it? The test is this on my side? Your wisdom is always on your side, and the critic never is. And if you want the 1-sentence version to keep in your back pocket, here it is. Is this the voice of my knowing, Or is this the voice of my conditioning? Your knowing is quieter and it is steadier. And here is how you will always tell them apart. Your inner voice, your actual wisdom, has never once spoken to you in cruelty. Not ever. The knowing informs you and the conditioning shames you. And they're completely different voices. And you're finally going to hear the difference. And if you want to go deeper this week, and I suggest this, keep a note in your phone, in your notes app. Every single time the critic fires, jot down whose voice it actually was. And by the end of the week, you're going to have a list. And I promise you, it will not be a list of you. It'll be everyone else. That list in your own handwriting is your first unbinding on paper. So here is why this is the very first thing we do. And then I'll let you go practice. Everything you want on the other side of the show, the pleasure, the power, the desire, the sovereignty, the entire reclamation, none of it can happen while that voice still runs the show. Because the second, the absolute millisecond you reach for something you want, the voice that says, who do you think you are, can push it right back down. You cannot reclaim your life from inside a head that is calling you names. So we unbind from the voice first. And every single time you catch it, you name it, you set it down, you take back like one more inch of your mind. And that's the unbinding. And on the other side is the reclamation, you taking back what was always yours. And past that is the rise, you standing all the way up as the woman you actually came here to be. And it all starts here. It starts with refusing to believe a voice that was never even yours. Okay, if this cracked something open in you today, come deeper with us inside Rebels Rising. This is exactly the work we are going to be doing together in real time with real women, unbinding, reclaiming, and rising, one woman at a time, one voice at a time, one experience at a time. The link is right in the show notes. You can go to thefemininerebellion.com/rebels-rising. So this week, catch that voice, run the 3 questions. Would I say it to my best friend? Whose voice is it? And who benefits? And when it fails, you say it right back to it. Hey, this isn't mine. This is not mine. Love, you have been carrying that thing for decades and you get to set it down right now. Okay. I will see you next week. I fucking love you. I love you madly. Let's fucking go. Peace out.